Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today? My name is Gina and I'm doing great. Boop, boop, boop. Hope y'all doing great too. Alright, so are we ready for the third episode of Create This Book? I am. Again, explaining everything was in the first video, so that's going to be linked in this video somewhere if you're interested in learning more about this book. So, but I just want to get right to it. No more dilly-dallying. Dilly-dallying. Alright, so I'm going to create an alien, right? So, I think what I want to do is first I'm going to make the background on this page, right? So, I'm going to be taking some of my Distressed Ink and Dusty Concord and in Black Soot, and let's just start having fun and blend loving lights out of it. Right? I hope this has got some juice in it. Because, you know, we're out in space because it's an alien. So, of course, the paper is not as thick as cardstock. So when I'm blending on it, there's some spots that are darker than others, which I don't mind. I think it's fine. This is not going into any museum. It is just for fun to help stoke my my creativity, and it works perfectly for that. This book does. I'm really glad I actually purchased this book to get my creativity juices flowing. So I did a couple of layers with the Black Soot and the Dusty Concord because I wanted it a little bit darker than what is happening now. So that's why you'll see me going back and forth to try to darken it up, because, you know, I want it to look like space. I want it to look like we're out in another worldly galaxy. So I think the end results pretty much look that way. Okay. Alright, so now what I think I want to do is I want to use this stamp, and I'm going to be using these Versa Magic chalk. So I'm using the white in this ink and using my swirly stamp, one of my favorites, because I thought this would really look like a cool galaxy using this stamp, right? And then I thought, I wonder if I can emboss using this ink. So I try it, and it worked. That is the Ranger Bridal Tinsel embossing powder there. It's got some sparkles to it, and it worked out okay. But I think the ink was drying a little bit, you know, because I didn't know like how fast this ink would dry. So I was like, well, you know, hopefully it'll stay wet long enough. And it did for the most part. I mean, it's not as pronounced as it probably could be. But by the time I got that side dried, the other side, the left side, had already dried. So then I just took regular Versamark ink, as you can see right here, and I just restamped it using that ink, and then I used the embossing powder, and as you can see, it really did work, and it stayed there, and it turned out so great once I got it dried with my heat gun. So that worked out really cool, and I loved the way that it turned out. It makes it look really galaxy-like. So now I want to take my glue, my deluxe adhesive, and I've got these little stars right here. They're star confettis, and I'm going to just put a couple around the page. Okay, I think that's good. Alright, now what I want to do is, put this right here so that the page won't shut. I'm going to push this over to the side for a minute. To let those dry, because they need to dry. Okay, so I've put the book over to the side to let it dry, and now I have a piece of mixed media paper, because my aliens are going to be these cute little cat stamps. So that is what I'm going to use. And I'll probably make like maybe 2 of them. But first, what I want to do is, so I'm going to take some of my distressed inks. So I have some cracked pistachio, twisted citron, spiced marmalade, mustard seed, picked raspberry, worn lipstick, and squeezed lemonade. And I'm just going to create just a different background on this page. So I just start using my blending brushes that I have here. They're makeup brushes that I got from Walmart for like $5. No, not from Walmart, sorry, Amazon. So I just started with the pinks, and then I would go to the yellows, and then the orange, and then the green, because remember, we don't want to put green and pink or green and red near one another, because when you mix those, you're just going to get mud. We didn't want mud. So I wanted to be able to blend it out and, make it look pretty. I loved the, that is squeezed lemonade that I tried first, and then I move on to the mustard seed. Well, no, that was orange marmalade, and I was like, ugh, I don't like the color of that. Then I went to mustard seed, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the yellow right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and then I just went on with the other greens that I had used there. And then near the end, I'm like, I feel like we need a little bit of blue, just a little bit of blue in this. So then I end up grabbing my Salty Ocean and going ahead and putting a little bit of that in there as well. And then using the pink again with that, because pink and red and blue make purple. So that's a pretty color. So we're safe there. So as you see, I've got it all the way that I want it to look. I think it looks really cool. And yes, I'm just using a baby wipe to clean those brushes. It takes like literally a second to clean them. I love those brushes. Love, love, love them. I highly recommend getting that. And then I just I spritzed it with a little bit of water, just to get the effect of that distressed ink. And then I use a hair dryer when I'm just drying things. I don't use my heating gun. So that's why you see that. And now I'm just deciding, where do I want my kitty cat body and heads to go? And so I'm trying to figure that out. Okay, so I've got these cat stamps, because when I thought of aliens, this is going to show my age, I remembered Alf. And he liked to eat cats, right? He was an alien, and so therefore he liked to eat cats. So I thought, wouldn't it be funny if there was an alien that was a cat that would eat Alf? So I have these cat stamps from Laurel Birch. And I think I've used them a couple of times. So I just wanted to get them out and play with them again. It's been a long time. So what I want to do is I'm going to use my Versa Mark ink again, because I want the color to come out, but then I want it to also be sparkly, right? So I've got this silver tinsel, and I'm hoping that this will work. Maybe I should use black ink. So as I contemplating using black ink or not, I thought maybe I should use the color inks, right? Like pinks and the yellows and the greens, depending on where the head and the bodies were. And so I was like, yep, that's what I'll do. And then, of course, because I'm going to do double stamping, because then I'll need to stamp it with the Versamark ink to get the embossing powder on there, I need to use my stamping platform. So I get my colors out that I think will look okay, and then I realize, oh, my paper's too long, so then I have to cut it. Wonky, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not making a card. It doesn't have to be straight, which it was anyway, but anyhow. So then I'm just placing the heads and the bodies where I want them, and once I'm like, okay, these are rubber stamps, so I had to turn the door around because I'm like, oh yeah, they're rubber. They're not the clear ones. So there is a difference with the Tim Holtz platform. And then I realized, oh, I'm off the grid there. So then I was like, oh, forget it. I'm just going to do the bodies separately from the faces. So that's what you see. So I go ahead and I use pink, right? And then I'm going to use yellow, and I'm going to go stamp it. And I mean, you see it shows up, and then I'm like, okay, that looks cool. So then I'm going to do the Versamark, and then I will emboss like a boss that I am. And then I realize, oh, I don't need to use colored ink or inks at all, because this embossing powder really does the job. You don't even see the colors of the ink. So then with the rest of the bodies, I don't bother using different inks. I just go straight to the Versamark ink. So that's what I did. So I have a die set with the stamp set. So I use those with the head and the bodies to create the aliens. And I do that through the bodies off camera. So... oh, they've been decapitated. Oh, no. All right. So I've got them made, as you can see. And what I want to do is I'm going to use these little foam squares to attach them to the bodies. So I use my deluxe adhesive to glue the tails onto the kitties after I use the foam squares there to put their heads on there. I just thought they needed a little bit more, dimension. That's why I used the foam squares. And once I get those glued, I set them aside so that they can dry. And now on the page, I'm going to take a silver marker, and I got this. It's a Crayola, and it's the only silver gel marker that I've ever owned that actually works. No kidding. And it was in a lettering set that I got from Target. So I color in the moon there, and then I put a little bit of more little stars on the page, which I don't think you can really tell in the video too much. But then I decided that this planet that these alien cats live on, their ground is nothing but flowers. So I take some old recollection flowers and kind of those vibrant colors that I used for the cats, because how else are they getting the color? They get it by eating this grass, these flowers. So that is what their world is made out of. It's made out of these colorful flowers. So I just glue them down with the adhesive there, and then I'm going to end up putting the cats on there using the foam squares. So I get them put down, and then I'm like, oh no, it looks like they're back to back. I don't want them facing that way. I want them facing each other, so they're having on a conversation, like take me to your leader sort of stuff. So it turned out cute. That is it. That's my page for this week. Aw, isn't it adorable? Create an alien. There's our alien cat. Hopefully they can find Alf and eat him. It'll be a battle. Alright, so there we go. Aw, that's cute. I like it. Oh, look, I don't know if y'all can tell, but right here where this black is at, it looks almost like the shape, the head of a cat. Look at that. Oh my gosh, isn't that so funny? That's perfect. Perfect. All right, y'all, there it is. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I am loving doing this, this book. Is so much fun just to play, not be serious, and just, you know, use old stuff. So I hope y'all are enjoying it as much as I am. So yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Y'all be good to one another, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.